I think it would be wise for the council to make suggestions on things to be included in the budget. Then it would be well for the city manager to consider amending his budget to include those requests. And I don't think that every suggestion should be countered by a statement that this is going to amount to 1 or 2 or 3 points of the city's tax rate, because you can make the same statement about, for instance, we're putting $1,600,000 in for to purchase the warrants that we've sold for the regional airport. I could just as easily say that the taxpayers of Dallas are paying 3 points of their tax base to further the regional airport.
If the budget were to come before the council right now in its present condition, would you vote for it or against it?
No, I would not.
You'd vote against it?
Yes.
We understand that there is the project facing HUD of building as many as 26 million homes, part of them maybe 6 million or so for the low-income families. Now, we also understand that you're facing some problem in trying to build those with prefab materials. Could you respond to that, please?
The department has launched a major program known as Operation Breakthrough, which is designed to develop, through the cooperation of state governments and local governments and industry and labor, the capacity to meet that housing production goal. At this point, we simply don't have the volume production capability which would be necessary to meet it, but we think that through Operation Breakthrough we may be able to develop it.
Is there any truth to the reports that labor unions are fighting building prefabricated houses?
As a matter of fact, we've been very pleased with the cooperation of the building trades. Since our meetings with the national leadership of the building trades, the Carpenters Union has announced a contract with one major builder of industrialized housing, and in Detroit, the Building Trades Council has announced a contract with a much smaller builder. These, I think, are steps in the right direction, and we're hopeful that we will have full cooperation from labor.
What I propose, and here is the point of my spear, is this: that the American Bar Association now take the leadership in a comprehensive, a profound examination into our penal systems from top to bottom, from beginning to end. Parole, probation, the prisons and related institutions, their staffs, their programs, their educational and vocational efforts, the standards of procedure for release. I avoid the term rehabilitation, but having not fully avoided it, rehabilitation simply has not worked. And so we must take another look at it. And by proposing this to the American Bar Association, and I lay a heavy burden on the new president, my good friend Bernard Siegel, I mean a study which is at least as careful and as thorough and as comprehensive as the ABA Criminal Justice Project, which we hope to complete within the next year to 18 months. Without effective correctional systems, an increasing portion of our population will become chronic criminals with no other way of life except the revolving door of crime, prison, and more crime. We must explore more fully programs of limited confinement accompanied by work release. We must explore teaching methods adapted to the abnormal psychology of the offender, and particularly the habitual offender. We must search, for example, for new incentive programs to permit possibly the reduction of sentences for those prisoners who will educate and train themselves in skills which will give a man pride and identity once he is released. I have said I have no program or plan. Indeed, all I have is the profound conviction, which I believe, I think most every judge in this country shares, that there must be a better way to do it. There must be a better way to do it. There must be some way to make a correctional system better than this revolving door of crime, punishment, crime, punishment. If I were sure, and I'm not sure either way, that all of this is good for the accused in the long run and in the large and long-range sense that it helps him, I would be enthusiastically in favor of every single part of it. I've often put the question, and I think it's one we must put constantly. What is the social utility of what is proposed? And by social utility, we must mean simply that a process is useful to all of us, to all of us. In short, that it strikes the fair balance between society and the individual,